Okay, recording this video on Saturday, the 24th of February 2024, just gone 4:39 p.m. Chicago time. Do hope you are doing well. So it's the weekend and time for another weekend futures market recap, where I go through 15 of the largest futures markets and I show you what I'm seeing on my charts. Do hope you had a good week's trading. I think the Forex markets this week were the most interesting. I think we've got some trades setting up for those markets in the next couple of weeks. I'm going to show you those in a little bit of detail with longer term charts on the dollar index and the euro. But as usual, we're going to start with the Emini charts and go down through the daily chart all the way down to the 15-minute and the 13,500 tip bar charts. So here we go. This is the daily chart of the Emini and we're in a confirmed uptrend. Confirmed uptrend because the background is printed in red. That means in terms of price and volume, we're in an uptrend. The bars are printed in red, which means better sine wave is showing us we're in an uptrend. And on Better Pro-Am here, the trailing stop is miles away at 3,800. That's the last time we saw professional activity. We broke through that. And this uptrend is not going to be over until we see exhaustion patterns going up and blue professional bars at the highs taking profits. And that's when this Better Pro-Am indicator will ratchet up the trailing stop behind those blue professional bars, and we've not seen that yet. However, this week's activity, maybe as we go down through the charts, you might see that we got a little bit of topping out. We might have got ahead of our skis here a little bit. We got a gap that potentially could get filled when we broke with the Nvidia news above 5,000, but I'll show you that on the lower charts. Pullback to end of trend on the highest time frame is due at some point. So we've got the cross here on better sine wave, which is the plate of spaghetti beneath the price bars, and that's showing that we've got across these thickest lines here show that the red line is below the blue line, which means that we've had a cross in terms of we're looking for a resistance pattern on the highest time frame. We're playing out this pullback to end of trend, but we keep on pushing up through the resistances. We're above resistance on the lowest time frame, above the resistance on the intermediate time frame, so the market is still strong. When we start bouncing off those resistances and we can't get through them, we get rejected, that will show that we're starting to run out of steam. So we've got an exhaustion pattern, we've got a bearish divergence pattern, but we're pushing up through price. We've probably got to go see pullback to end of trend on the intermediate time frame before this is all over. So longer term, bigger picture, we're still in an uptrend and we've not seen those exhaustion patterns. So let us go down now to the 135-minute chart. Exactly 3 135-minute bars in a day session of the E-mini. Here we've ratcheted the trailing stop up a little bit. We had blue professional bars. Maybe that was almost 2 weeks ago now. We've got pullback to end of trends. We keep on pushing through these resistances here and here and here, and it just shows the strength of the move. The end of trend signals are showing us where we might have just maxed out temporarily, have a little bit of breathing space, but we just keep on pushing up and up and up through these levels. That's showing the market is so strong. So on this time frame, we're well above the resistance on the highest time frame here, and so this has got to go back, pull back to end of trend. We haven't had any exhaustion buy patterns up at these highs. We've got to go see more blue professional bars, so still in an uptrend on the 135-minute chart. Same thing on the 45-minute chart. A couple of weeks ago we had some roundabout patterns which led to a little bit of weakness. We gapped down here, we tested, and then we gapped up with the Nvidia news. Here, no blue professional bars at the highs, no amateur bars at the highs, no exhaustion patterns to look at. So still in an uptrend. We've got this huge gap fill that people might be looking at, but on the 45-minute chart, still a confirmed uptrend and no signs here in terms of volume patterns to say it's all over on the upside. 15-minute chart, here's the gap on Nvidia news. We had exhaustion sell on the downside here. Blue professional bars come in. We've got Rambo patterns at the highs. The lows of those amateur bars are really important as a level, so about 50, 80 as a level to crack on the way down. If we see that going beneath this level here, maybe we're going to look for a gap fill or a partial gap fill. So we're pushing up to these highs with some amateur bars, a little bit of blue professional bars kind of taking profits, but still our stop is quite a long ways away here on the 15-minute chart, so we've got to see that ratchet up. And then finally the tip bar chart. Here we go. This is the 13,500 tip bar chart, roughly equivalent to something like a 20-minute chart. And this is the story of this week's activity. So the vertical yellow solid lines here show the beginning and the ends of the week. So we spent the week selling off. The backgrounds in grey here, so we had a nice confirmed downtrend. We reached our support on the highest time frame down here, and then we got the Nvidia news and we broke with a blue professional bar, grabbing it here, and we just rushed away. There's the Rambo patterns at the beginning of the week, chasing it down, Here's a better picture on the 13,500 tip bar chart. Blue professional bars at the highs. We have one also at the close on Friday. No blue professional bars up here on these pushes up here at that point. We've got a pullback to end of trend on the lowest time frame. We're putting in pullback to end of trend on the intermediate time frame. We've not got an exhaustion pattern here. We could have a little bit of weakness here, but I'd suggest the professionals would step in, push it back up until we see blue professional bars and exhaustion patterns at the high to end this move properly. So just be wary of any weakness first, that it won't be an opportunity to just push it back up and stop people out above 51.20. So there we go. That's what I'm seeing on the E-mini at the moment. Let's talk about the dollar index, the euro and gold charts on the higher time frames next before looking at the triple signals. We might be looking at an important inflection point in the Forex markets, and I just want to show you what I'm looking at there. So here we go. This is dollar index, and this is a little bit crowded on this chart, but it's the same two charts that I use with everything to do with volume and beta pro-am here on the upper two charts, and everything to do with price and beta sine wave on the lower two charts. But what we've got is two different time frames. We've got a 420-minute chart and a daily chart. In a day session of the dollar index trading, we've got exactly three 420-minute bars. Slightly different on the euro chart. There it's a 460-minute, but that's because they're trading on two different exchanges. They've got slightly different opening and closing times. But what I'm looking at on the dollar index is whether we're going to have a resumption of the uptrend in the dollar. We had leading into the end of 2023, we had this big exhaustion pattern in the dollar index, strengthened dollar index. We had blue professional bars, exhaustion buys, bearish divergence, taking profits at the highs, and then we went into confirmed downtrend. So we had the grey background, which means we're a confirmed downtrend on the dollar index, and we've had this big bounce from the end of last year, so beginning of this new year 2024. Market bottomed with Rambo patterns here on the dollar index and started to strengthen. So here on the 420-minute you can see a little bit more detail. There's that family of Rambo patterns down here testing into 100, and we bounced from there. And what's interesting for me is in the last couple of weeks we've had these blue professional bars come in. So the beginning of February they were very anxious to buy up there, and normally when I look at that pattern I look at it as a stair-step trade. Blue professional bars step in on the retrace and the market trades down, but it was an immediate U-turn. Here you can see that with these three bars, down and up straight away. And with this week's activity we traded into those lows. The euro chart made a spiky high at 109. I'll show you that next, and we reversed away from that. So we've tested back into where those professionals were interested at 103, and we've immediately bounced from there with that one big bar there, and we've come back up and we're showing strength. Now in terms of the trending system here, we've got the background is in red, which means in terms of price and volume we're in an uptrend. So dollar index here on the daily chart, you can see that on the 420-minute chart all the background is in red, which means beta sine wave is showing strength in both of these time frames, and we're above the trailing stop on beta pro-am. So the critical level is 102.7. If that gets broken to the downside, then all bets are off. But we're showing strength in the dollar index. And does that mean that this is, having seen this week's activity with this spike down, that we get above this range that we've been in for the last month and we break out and have continued strength on the dollar index? So next let's look at the euro, because the euro is the largest component of the dollar index, and see if we can see a reverse of this pattern on the euro chart. So here we've got the daily time frames and the 460-minute bar, exactly three 460-minute bars in a day session of the euro futures. And here you can see the topping out activity that we had on the euro with Rambo patterns right here at the highs. Rambo with an exhaustion buy pattern on the daily chart here, that's very unstable. So that's showing blue professional bars into those highs, taking profits. The amateurs get wrong-footed at almost just under 112, gets rejected, and we fall into confirmed downtrend. Confirmed downtrend here on all these time frames because the background is in grey on the 460-minute and the daily chart here. And with this week's activity we had that spiky bar into 109, the high there just under 109, 108, 89.90. This is looking like a bit more of a classic stair-step trade. So we break into a downtrend. The first retracement that we have is blue professional bars into that move. We get rejected and we immediately move the other way. And then this is coming back up into that zone where the blue professional bars were active. The professionals were active here, just under 107, and then gets rejected there and we sell off. Not super hard yet, but if we start breaking below 108, 107.5 here, that'll show that we got a resumption of this downtrend. So the trend into the end of last year, from October to the end of December, was an uptrend in the euro and a downtrend in dollar index. Then we've had a downtrend in the euro and an uptrend in the dollar. We've had 2 or 3 weeks of range-bound activity. And is this little retrace the perfect little opportunity to get short on the euro and ride this thing down and start breaking supports? In terms of my trading, this week, at the beginning of the week, I was long euro, kicking myself that I didn't have a resting profit target just under 109 because the Forex markets really like round numbers. But as soon as I saw that activity, I got out and reversed, went short the euro at the moment. So if the euro starts breaking back above this area, that'll mean that all bets are off and we have to rethink that trade. But for me right now, long dollar, short euro is an interesting setup, and I'm hoping will start to play out this week. That's what I'm looking at in the dollar index and the euro. The other chart this week I found interesting was the gold chart, because it's mirroring the euro chart. So the euro chart here spiked up to 112 at the end of last year and then has sold off since then. We had a retracement here, blue professional bars stepped in, and this is like a stair-step trade on the way down. Gold, very similar pattern. Into the end of December, Rambo patterns leading into that spike at 21.50. And the retracement that we've had here, the first set of blue professional bars after the break that we had, is a little bit of a stair-step trade here, comes in at 20.83, and we've weakened from there. But Friday's activity, we had quite a strong bar here. We had a triple setup happening at 2013. Down here we've got triple supports on the low, intermediate and highest time frame all to come together, and then we've broken above resistance, or just marginally broken above resistance, closed above resistance here on the lowest time frame there. So we've got a confirmed downtrend because all the backgrounds in grey here, both the lowest time frame, the 460-minute chart, as well as the daily chart here. Is that going to be rejected Monday, Tuesday, and then we start breaking back down through these levels, through 2000, and we continue this downtrend? That would be dollar index strengthening, gold would weaken just because of the inverse relationship between the two markets, and the euro would start to weaken as well. So you might see that as a concerted move. But let's wait and see. That was an odd bar to pop up on the close on Friday, that it was strong and broke us into a little bit of an uptrend here on the 460-minute chart. So that's something I'm going to be looking at for Monday, Tuesday's activity to see if that area holds or whether it ultimately breaks down. So there we go. It's the longer term charts, dollar index, euro and gold. So let us quickly look at the triple system on the tip bar charts, and I'll run through these really quickly. So there's the euro 1500 tip bar chart here. Beginning of the week activity, we rallied, spiked into 109, and now we've got triple signals short. We've got overbought, we've got bearish divergence, we've broken the trailing stop on better pro-am with professional activity, and this is all the activity that I'm looking at the moment. We've got an exhaustion sell signal at the moment. What I need is this to break down through 82s here to get confirmation that we're actually in a downtrend on the euro. So that's the euro chart. British pound. Last signal we had the end of last week, long. It's having trouble. We've had a stair-step trade here, testing up into 27. Blue professional bars come in and get rejected there on British pound, but no signals short on British pound. Aussie dollar, we had a short signal at the end of the week, didn't work out. There's that spike that we had in the Forex markets up to 66. We've come back down, so this whole area needs to break down 65.5. It needs to get broken to the downside for us to get confirmation that we're heading down on the Aussie dollar. Japanese yen continues to go down and down and down. We had triple signals a couple of weeks ago that worked out. We had an intermediate signal here, did not work out. We continued to break down. No exhaustion sell patterns down here, no blue professional bars at the lows on the Japanese yen. 10-year notes, triple signal long. We had some signals last week that didn't work out. We've come back down into this level here Not a whole bunch of blue professional bars come in here, but let's see if that area holds and we continue to break back up. The E-mini, we got a lovely little triple signal before the NVIDIA announcement after hours, and that triple signal worked out, but we've not had a triple signal short at the highs here. So gold, here we go. Gold signals a couple of weeks ago didn't work. We've rallied from here. No triple signals this week, but we do have an exhaustion buy pattern there on gold. So let's see what happens this week. Silver we've actually signaled long at the end of the week. Not a whole bunch of blue professional bars to signal either way. We're looking for a cluster of blue professional bars similar to these that we had at the bottom last week. Silver, Bitcoin no signals last week and a half. And crude, nice signals, triple signals, 3 of them going off at the beginning of the week. Then we test back up into this area just under 79, bang, get rejected, and we break down on crude. So crude is looking weak. Natural gas continues. We had a little bit of a rally at the beginning of this week after triple signals the end of last week, but they failed. Here we've got a rolling over pattern, blue professional bars taking profits at 85. We're heading back down on natural gas. And copper tried to have a signal short. We had a nice signal long last week. Signal short didn't work out. Kind of kept on pushing through. And none of the ags are doing well at the moment. Here we've got corn continuing to trade down. The signal didn't work out. Not many blue professional bars here at the lows. And although we've had exhaustion, sell, bullish divergence, and flush patterns down here, no blue professional bars stepped in on corn. So that's looking weak still. Soybeans, that's a little bit better. Much more professional activity at the lows here, potentially catching that. So let's see if that bounces a little bit on soybeans and wheat. So at the beginning of last week we had a signal long, didn't really work out. It goes into an exhaustion pattern, blue professional bars, gets rejected, and we're kind of heading back down on wheat. So there we go, a rip around a whole bunch of charts there. Hope that wasn't too many for you. For me, the euro chart's the most important. If the 108 and then 107 levels start to fail, that's going to be really interesting. So there we go. I hope your trading is going well and looking forward to next week.